Hello, brothers, and welcome to Sigma Old Man Channel. The truth has a way of hunting liars down even when no one else is watching. Most people lie without thinking, tossing out half-truths or elaborate stories like confetti, believing no one notices. But here's the thing. Studies show that the average human tells around 1 to 2 lies every single day, often to avoid conflict or protect their image. Now imagine that same lie landing in front of someone who doesn't just see it, but mentally dissects it, analyzes the intent, and remembers it forever. That someone is a Sigma male. Sigma males operate on a different frequency. They're quiet, observant, and completely detached from the need for approval, which makes catching deception almost effortless. When they know they're being lied to, it's not just a matter of annoyance, it's a trigger that sets off a chain reaction in their mind, one that can shift relationships, reputations, and outcomes in ways most people wouldn't even imagine. And here's the kicker. The Sigma male rarely shows the obvious signs of catching a lie. There's no dramatic confrontation, no angry outburst, and no over-the-top revenge plot. Instead, he converts the deception into information, strategy, and silent power. In other words, if you think a little fib won't matter, think again. Because a Sigma male never forgets, never miscalculates, and can turn your lie into your own trap. So buckle up. By the end of this, you'll see why lying to a Sigma male isn't just risky. It's almost like handing them the blueprint to your own undoing. And yes, it's as terrifyingly brilliant as it sounds. Number 1, hyperobservation kicks in. When a Sigma male senses deception, his brain immediately shifts into a mode most people can't even comprehend. It's not just noticing that something is off. It's a full-on, high-definition scan of every detail in the room, every word spoken, every micro-expression flickering across a face. He doesn't need proof in the conventional sense. The lie announces itself through subtle inconsistencies, tiny shifts in tone, hesitation, or even the way someone's eyes avoid contact for just a fraction of a second. Where most people would shrug off these signs, he files them away with surgical precision, storing every anomaly as data for later use. This isn't paranoia. It's a kind of built-in lie radar, honed over years of observing human behavior. He doesn't just see the lie, he maps it. He watches how it spreads through speech, how it bends under pressure, and how it conflicts with known truths. Every gesture, every inflection, every pause is part of a larger puzzle, and he pieces it together silently, effortlessly. By the time the person who lied thinks they're safe, the Sigma male already knows exactly where the gaps are and what they mean. What's even more remarkable is the patience he applies to this process. He doesn't explode, call out the lie, or demand a confession. Instead, he lets the observation deepen, letting the liar reveal more without realizing it. Each word, each movement, adds layers to the picture forming in his mind. He sees not just what is being said, but why it's being said, and what it reveals about intentions, weaknesses, and character. This level of hyper-observation gives Sigma males an almost uncanny advantage. It turns deception into a predictable pattern, something he can anticipate, manipulate, or counter without anyone realizing it. People who lie to him often leave thinking they've gotten away with it, while he walks away armed with every detail they failed to notice they'd revealed. By the time the truth comes out, he's already 2 steps ahead, making the lie irrelevant and placing himself in complete control of the situation. Hyperobservation isn't just skill. It's instinct, strategy, and a quiet form of power that makes lying to a Sigma male a dangerous, often fatal mistake. Number 2, emotional calibration freezes. When a Sigma male realizes he's being lied to, something shifts internally that most people would never notice. There's no sudden anger, no dramatic reaction, no obvious tell. Instead, his emotions hit a kind of pause button, freezing just long enough for him to assess the situation with absolute clarity. It's like his mind steps outside of the moment, separating fact from feeling, truth from deception, so he can see the lie for exactly what it is. While most people would react impulsively, giving themselves away with frustration or confusion, he remains cool, detached, and almost unreadable. This isn't coldness, it's control. It's the ability to feel without being manipulated by emotion. A Sigma male understands that reacting emotionally to a lie is often exactly what the liar wants, a chance to regain control, provoke a fight, or mask the truth further. By freezing his emotional response, he denies them that power. He processes the lie logically, weighing the intent, the potential fallout, and how it fits into the larger context of behavior and relationships. Every feeling, from irritation to distrust, is measured and stored internally, transformed into strategy rather than wasted energy. During this freeze, he also reads the liar with astonishing precision. He notices micro-reactions, subtle signs of guilt or overconfidence, and even the timing of their words. His lack of visible reaction isn't emptiness. It's a signal that he's fully aware and fully analyzing. Meanwhile, the liar often misinterprets his calm as ignorance or indifference, making the Sigma male's control even more potent. By keeping his emotions in check, he turns what could have been a moment of vulnerability into a moment of strength. This emotional calibration allows him to respond when the timing is right, not when impulse demands it. He can confront, manipulate, or expose the lie on his own terms, with maximum effect. For a Sigma male, knowing he's being lied to doesn't spark chaos. It triggers precision. His emotional freeze is both shield and weapon, a quiet force that keeps him unshakable while the liar flails unknowingly in the dark. Number 3, mental simulations. Begin. The moment a Sigma male recognizes a lie, his mind doesn't just register it, it springs into motion, running countless scenarios at once. Every word spoken, every gesture made by the liar is plugged into a mental model, and he begins simulating outcomes like a chess master several moves ahead. He doesn't react blindly or emotionally. Instead, he predicts consequences, explores motives, and calculates every potential ripple the deception could cause. This is not overthinking. It's a systematic mental process that turns lies into insight and foresight. He considers the why behind the lie, not just the what. Was it meant to protect, to manipulate, or to test boundaries? Each possibility is run through silently, and each scenario is measured against reality, against his principles, and against human patterns he's observed countless times before. While others might get caught up in confrontation or panic, the Sigma male is already imagining the path from the lie to the truth, and what each step will demand from him. He can anticipate excuses, shifts in tone, and defensive tactics almost instinctively. These mental simulations aren't limited to immediate outcomes. He visualizes long-term consequences, the ways a lie could affect relationships, trust, reputation, and even social dynamics. He considers the liar's future behavior and how this act might reveal patterns of deceit that could matter months or years down the line. Each layer adds depth to his understanding, giving him not just knowledge of the current situation, but a map of everything that might follow. What makes this so powerful is the speed and precision. A Sigma male can run these mental exercises while appearing calm, detached, and even disinterested. He transforms every deception into a strategic advantage, using the lie to understand, predict, and sometimes manipulate events without anyone noticing. By the time the liar believes they've gotten away with it, he has already calculated the full trajectory of their actions, their weaknesses, and the optimal point to act. For a Sigma male, lies are not disruptions. They are opportunities to simulate, analyze, and prepare. His mental simulations turn deception into strategy, giving him an almost invisible edge that leaves the liar completely unaware until it's too late. Number 4, truth becomes a weapon. For a Sigma male, knowing a lie isn't just about spotting deception, it's about transforming truth into a tool that can be wielded with precision. Once he understands the lie, he knows exactly how to use the truth to his advantage, often in ways the liar never anticipates. The truth isn't blunt or confrontational. It's calculated, timed, and delivered with subtlety that makes it impossible to ignore or misinterpret. It becomes a weapon not because it's aggressive, but because it exposes the liar's weaknesses while maintaining the Sigma male's control. He doesn't need to yell or accuse. He can let the truth manifest naturally through his actions, his words, or even through the careful revelation of details. A single statement, a pointed observation, or a well-timed disclosure can dismantle the lie entirely, making the deception collapse under its own weight. The liar, who may have thought themselves clever, is often left bewildered, unable to understand how the Sigma male knew or how the truth slipped out with such precision. This weaponization of truth is strategic. He gauges how much to reveal, when to reveal it, and how to ensure the impact is maximized while minimizing unnecessary exposure. The Sigma male understands that the effectiveness of truth lies in its timing and context. Delivered at the wrong moment, it can create conflict or drama. Delivered correctly, it shifts power, reveals intentions, and forces the liar into a corner without the Sigma male ever losing composure. Truth, in the hands of a Sigma male, is almost surgical. It targets deception, exposes manipulation, and often teaches lessons silently. It doesn't need to be loud or public. The impact is felt internally by the liar, creating subtle tension, guilt, or recognition of failure. The liar becomes aware of the imbalance without fully understanding why, giving the Sigma male quiet dominance over the situation. For Sigma males, the truth is never neutral. It's a tool, a weapon, and a mirror that reflects deception exactly as it is, while keeping them several steps ahead. Lies may exist, but in their presence, the truth always has the upper hand. Number 5, trust is immediately recalibrated. The moment a Sigma male detects a lie, trust isn't just shaken, it's instantly recalibrated. He doesn't need to confront anyone or make a scene. Internally, the scale has already tipped. People often think of trust as something built slowly, brick by brick. But for a Sigma male, it's a dynamic, precise system that can be adjusted in a single moment. A lie, no matter how small, becomes a data point, and that data point immediately shifts the weight he gives to that person's words, actions, and reliability. This recalibration isn't reactive or emotional. It's deliberate and unspoken. He silently measures the intent behind the lie, the level of risk it carries, and the likelihood of repetition. Even the slightest manipulation or dishonesty triggers a mental shift, a re-evaluation of how much he invests emotionally, socially, and strategically. Someone who was once in his inner orbit may suddenly find themselves further away, while someone he deems still valuable gets tested more cautiously. The Sigma male doesn't broadcast this adjustment. It's invisible, yet undeniable. Over time, this recalibration creates a map of trust that is hyper-accurate. He tracks patterns, not just isolated incidents. If someone lies once, it's noted. If it happens repeatedly, their credibility diminishes in his eyes almost permanently. He doesn't hold grudges in the way others might, but he does create boundaries that protect him from future manipulation. Every interaction is now filtered through this updated lens, allowing him to engage only on terms that are safe, fair, or advantageous. The brilliance of this recalibration is subtle, yet powerful. The liar rarely realizes that things have changed. Conversations continue, relationships appear normal, but the Sigma male's internal dynamics have shifted irreversibly. He knows exactly how far to trust, what to expect, and how to protect himself from further deception. For a Sigma male, trust isn't binary. It's a living system that adapts, protects, and guides his interactions. Once it's recalibrated, the liar is no longer operating on equal footing, and the Sigma male has quietly but completely regained control of the situation. Number 6, internal codes trigger. When a Sigma male realizes he's being lied to, it's not just a moment of awareness, it's a violation of his internal codes. He operates by a strict personal set of principles, unspoken rules that govern his behavior, interactions, and judgments. A lie immediately registers as a breach of these codes, and that triggers a silent, powerful response internally. It's not about moral outrage or drama. It's about alignment. If someone steps outside the boundaries of honesty, they have signaled without knowing it that they don't fit within the Sigma male's framework, and that has consequences. These internal codes act as both compass and radar. When triggered, they guide his next moves, dictating how much attention, energy, and trust he will give to the liar. The Sigma male doesn't need to announce judgment. His principles do the work for him. They instantly clarify boundaries and determine what behaviors are acceptable moving forward. Every action, every response, every interaction is filtered through this lens, ensuring that deception doesn't go unchecked, even if it's subtle or socially overlooked. What makes this unique is the quiet intensity with which Sigma males enforce these codes. They rarely explain, argue, or confront unless it serves a strategic purpose. Instead, they adjust their behavior silently, recalibrating their engagement and assessing the liar against the standard of integrity they live by. Lies are catalogued, measured, and mentally tagged as violations, shaping the Sigma male's understanding of the person in ways that go far beyond surface-level impressions. This internal mechanism also strengthens their foresight. By recognizing breaches of principle, they can predict patterns of dishonesty or manipulation before the liar even realizes they're being noticed. Their internal codes act as a filter for trust, an algorithm for strategy, and a lens for judgment. For a Sigma male, a lie isn't just information. It's a signal, a trigger that sets internal systems into motion. It defines boundaries, exposes intentions, and quietly empowers him to respond with precision, maintaining control while the liar remains oblivious to just how much has shifted in that silent, invisible space. Number 7, behavioral echoes are tested. When a Sigma male catches someone in a lie, he doesn't just observe the deception and move on. He begins testing behavioral echoes. This means he subtly probes the liar, creating situations or statements designed to gauge their reactions without revealing that he already knows the truth. It's a quiet, almost invisible form of testing, where each response becomes a reflection of their character, intent, and reliability. The liar unknowingly exposes more of themselves piece by piece, while the Sigma male absorbs every detail like a master strategist. He pays attention to the smallest deviations, slight hesitations, unnecessary explanations, changes in tone, or even body language that contradicts words. These echoes are more than signals. They are confirmation of patterns. He watches to see if the liar doubles down, backtracks, or slips further. Every subtle reaction becomes part of a larger puzzle that reveals not just this lie, but the person's true tendencies over time. This is how Sigma males build an almost uncanny understanding of others, seeing motives and weaknesses that remain invisible to everyone else. The testing is never aggressive or confrontational. It's almost invisible, embedded in ordinary interactions. A casual statement, a deliberately vague comment, or even silence can trigger responses that reveal intentions and credibility. The liar thinks they are still in control, but every echo they give is being catalogued, analyzed, and stored. In essence, the Sigma male turns their own words and actions into evidence against them without ever forcing a confession. This method allows the Sigma male to manage deception with precision. He doesn't need to accuse or expose immediately. He gathers proof, measures risk, and anticipates the liar's next moves. Behavioral echoes create a feedback loop that strengthens his awareness, ensures that future interactions are informed, and provides leverage should the situation require confrontation or strategic action. For a Sigma male, lies are never isolated events. They trigger a ripple of observation, testing, and analysis that turns deception into a detailed map of human behavior. Every echo matters, every reaction counts, and by the time the liar realizes they've been outmaneuvered, the Sigma male has already transformed their dishonesty into insight and control. Number 8, reputation mapping activates. When a Sigma male realizes he's been lied to, his mind immediately begins mapping reputations, including that of the liar. He doesn't just register the deception as an isolated incident. He contextualizes it within patterns of behavior, past interactions, and potential future actions. Every lie is a data point, every inconsistency a thread, and he weaves these threads into a larger picture of who this person really is. Unlike most people who might forgive, forget, or overlook dishonesty, the Sigma male catalogs it with precision, mentally marking reliability, intent, and credibility. This mapping isn't passive. It's an active, ongoing process where every interaction is analyzed for hidden meaning and predictive insight. A single lie might seem small or harmless to the average observer, but to a Sigma male, it's an opportunity to understand deeper truths. Why the lie was told, how easily the person bends under pressure, and whether deception is a habit or a one-time lapse. He cross-references new information with previous encounters, subtly connecting dots others miss, and creating an internal dossier that guides future engagement. The brilliance of reputation mapping is that it allows him to operate with almost invisible foresight. He anticipates manipulation, avoids traps, and adjusts his level of trust and investment accordingly. People who lie to him may feel temporarily safe, believing the deception has succeeded, while he quietly recalibrates his entire perception of them. Every conversation, every decision, and every shared moment is now filtered through this updated map, giving him unparalleled clarity on who deserves respect, attention, or distance. This process isn't about judgment for the sake of judgment. It's about strategic awareness. The Sigma male uses reputation mapping to navigate social landscapes with precision, ensuring that deception doesn't compromise his position or influence. Over time, this internal map becomes almost infallible, guiding him in relationships, business, and personal interactions. For a Sigma male, a lie is never fleeting. It triggers a full-scale mental mapping, transforming simple deception into a tool of insight, foresight, and control, leaving the liar oblivious to just how much of themselves they've revealed. Number 9, silent containment of anger. When a Sigma male detects a lie, anger may arise internally, but it never erupts in the obvious ways most people expect. There are no raised voices, no dramatic confrontations, no impulsive reactions. Instead, the emotion is contained, stored, and converted into quiet, strategic energy. This containment isn't denial, it's mastery. He feels the betrayal, irritation, or frustration, but he channels it with precision, keeping control of both himself and the situation. The liar, meanwhile, often assumes their deception has gone unnoticed, or that the Sigma male is indifferent. completely unaware that a storm is quietly brewing under the surface. This ability to contain anger makes the Sigma male incredibly dangerous in the context of deception. While others might lash out in the moment, giving away their awareness or weakening their position, he maintains calm, patience, and focus. The liar's actions, which were meant to manipulate, control, or gain advantage, instead fuel the Sigma male's internal strategy. The anger becomes an asset rather than a liability. It sharpens his focus, hones his analysis, and heightens his awareness of the liar's intentions, mistakes, and vulnerabilities. The containment also communicates power without words. Even in silence, the Sigma male exerts influence because the liar senses something is off. The tension created by unexpressed anger is subtle but palpable. It is a psychological pressure that makes the liar uneasy, second-guess themselves, and sometimes even reveal more than intended. The Sigma male doesn't need to confront them directly. His composed presence and the invisible force of controlled anger often accomplish more than confrontation ever could. Over time, this containment reinforces control. He decides if, when, and how to respond, ensuring that any confrontation or revelation occurs on his terms, maximizing leverage and minimizing risk. His calm exterior masks an internal engine of precision, turning a natural human reaction into a tactical advantage. For a Sigma male, anger at being lied to is not chaos, it is fuel. Contained, directed, and strategically applied, it becomes a silent weapon, keeping him unshakable, untouchable, and always several moves ahead of anyone who dares to deceive him. Number 10. Invisible pressure mounts. When a Sigma male realizes he's been lied to, an invisible pressure begins to build around the liar. It isn't forceful or aggressive in a way that draws attention. It's subtle, psychological, and profoundly disorienting. The liar may sense tension, hesitation, or scrutiny, but they rarely understand the source. The Sigma male doesn't need to confront them, argue, or make accusations. The mere awareness of the deception combined with his quiet, controlled presence creates an almost imperceptible weight that the liar feels instinctively. This pressure works on multiple levels. Every movement, every word, and even the silence of the Sigma male carries significance. It communicates awareness, judgment, and control without uttering a single line of accusation. The liar begins to second-guess themselves, overthink interactions, and sometimes reveal more than intended, simply because the Sigma male's attention is so precise and his observation so thorough. The tension is like gravity. It pulls subtly but relentlessly, shaping behavior without overt action. What makes this invisible pressure so effective is the Sigma male's mastery of timing and restraint. He doesn't explode with anger or confrontation, which would give the liar a chance to defend themselves or redirect the situation. Instead, he allows the lie to exist while maintaining complete composure, letting the pressure accumulate naturally. This makes the liar increasingly aware of misalignment, guilt, or exposure, yet they remain uncertain and off balance, giving the Sigma male control over both perception and potential outcomes. Over time, this pressure becomes a quiet but powerful tool of influence. It forces the liar to navigate interactions carefully, knowing, often subconsciously, that their dishonesty has been detected and catalogued. Every decision they make is now measured against the unspoken awareness of the Sigma male, who remains calm, observant, and always ahead in the mental game. For a Sigma male, invisible pressure is not about intimidation. It is precision applied with subtlety. It transforms the act of lying into a silent battlefield where the liar is unaware that they are already losing, leaving the Sigma male entirely in command of both the moment and the future consequences. Number 11. Selective communication intensifies. When a Sigma male realizes he's being lied to, every word he speaks from that moment on becomes intentional, measured, and precise. Communication is no longer casual or automatic, it's selective. He doesn't waste energy on filler, small talk, or meaningless assurances. Instead, every phrase, every glance, and every gesture is filtered through his awareness of the deception. The liar, meanwhile, may believe they're still interacting normally, unaware that the Sigma male has shifted the rules of engagement entirely. This selectiveness serves multiple purposes. First, it protects him. By choosing what to reveal, when to speak, and how much energy to invest, he limits the opportunity for further manipulation. The liar cannot exploit gaps, ambiguity, or emotional openings because there are none. Second, it communicates a subtle but undeniable signal. The Sigma male knows, he remembers, and he is no longer operating on default trust. There's a quiet authority in this restraint, a psychological leverage that the liar feels even if they can't put it into words. The Sigma male also uses selective communication strategically. He may drop a truth here, a subtle observation there, or withhold entirely, all to observe the liar's reaction. This creates a feedback loop, allowing him to test honesty, gauge intentions, and refine his understanding of the person without ever directly confronting them. The liar ends up revealing more simply because the Sigma male controls the flow of interaction. Every conversation becomes a tool to extract insight, expose inconsistencies, and maintain dominance. What makes this so effective is the invisibility of the tactic. There's no drama, no confrontation, and no overt judgment. To outsiders, it may appear as calm detachment or even indifference. Yet beneath the surface, the Sigma male is orchestrating every exchange with precision, transforming deception into actionable intelligence. For a Sigma male, communication is power, and lies change the rules entirely. Selective communication intensifies his control, protects him from manipulation, and ensures that the liar operates on his terms, often without realizing how deeply the Sigma male has already outmaneuvered them. Number 12, long-term memory tags, permanently. When a Sigma male catches a lie, it doesn't fade with time or get brushed aside. Every detail, the words spoken, the tone, the timing, the subtle cues that revealed the deception, is stored in his memory with precision, tagged for relevance and importance. This isn't just remembering a single incident. It's creating a permanent mental record that shapes how he interacts with that person for months or even years. Lies are never isolated events for him. They are data points that feed into a broader understanding of character, reliability, and intent. This permanent tagging transforms the way a Sigma male perceives relationships. He doesn't forget, but he doesn't necessarily act impulsively either. Instead, the memory serves as a reference system, a mental ledger he consults silently whenever the person reappears in his life. Patterns emerge over time. Small lies become habits, manipulations are exposed, and inconsistencies that seemed minor in isolation now reveal a much larger picture. The liar may believe that time erases consequences, but for a Sigma male, time only reinforces awareness. Because of this, trust is never casually restored. Each interaction is filtered through these memory tags. He approaches future conversations, decisions, and collaborations with a clarity that others cannot match, always weighing past behavior against present actions. The Sigma male doesn't hold grudges in a petty way, but he ensures that no one can deceive him twice without consequences. Every word the liar speaks is met with quiet scrutiny, every action compared against the mental record he's built. What makes this approach so formidable is its subtlety. The Sigma male rarely confronts past lies outright. Instead, he carries them silently, letting them guide his decisions, boundaries, and engagement. The liar rarely realizes how thoroughly their deception has been catalogued, leaving them vulnerable to the Sigma male's calculated responses when the timing is right. For a Sigma male, lies are permanent markers. Memory tags turn deception into insight, strategy, and control, ensuring that anyone who lies to him is never operating on equal footing again. Once the lie is recorded, it becomes part of the Sigma male's invisible arsenal, shaping interactions with quiet, unstoppable precision. When a Sigma male realizes he's being lied to, it's never a simple matter of catching deception. It's an entire process of observation, analysis, and strategic recalibration. Every lie triggers a cascade of internal systems: hyper-focused attention, mental simulations, silent strategies, emotional control, and permanent memory tagging. What makes this extraordinary isn't just his ability to detect dishonesty. It's the way he transforms it into leverage, insight, and control without ever appearing aggressive or reactive. Lies don't just irritate him. They become opportunities to understand motives, predict behavior, and protect his energy while maintaining quiet dominance. The brilliance of a Sigma male lies in the subtlety and precision of his response. He doesn't need to confront, argue, or expose the liar immediately. He observes, tests, measures, and recalibrates trust. He expands social distance, selectively communicates, and applies invisible pressure, all while converting internal reactions like anger into strategic energy. Lies are stored permanently, woven into his understanding of character, and turned into long-term intelligence that guides every interaction. By the time the liar even realizes their deception has been noticed, the Sigma male is already several steps ahead, quietly steering outcomes on his own terms. This isn't about revenge. It's about mastery. It's about operating from a position of control, awareness, and foresight that most people simply don't possess. Lies may ripple through the world of ordinary individuals, creating drama, confusion, and regret. But in the presence of a Sigma male, deception is powerless, unless it's recognized, calculated, and strategically used. Every lie is an opportunity for insight. Every act of dishonesty is a map of the liar's intentions and weaknesses. The Sigma male doesn't just survive lies. He neutralizes them, anticipates them, and converts them into invisible authority. If you found yourself captivated by this, make sure you subscribe to the channel to dive even deeper into the psychology of Sigma males, their strategies, and their extraordinary approach to life. Don't forget to like this video if it opened your eyes, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and share it with someone who needs to understand the silent power of awareness. Trust me, once you see the world through the lens of a Sigma male, nothing about deception, strategy, or human behavior will ever feel the same again.